first thing is RVM version manager. So you can install Ruby's, different versions of Ruby's with RVM, and remove them too. So if you have too much Ruby's, you can remove them, so you can free some space. So we can manage different versions of Ruby's. You can install JRuby, MRI, Ruby Enterprise Edition, Ruby News, Maglev, and a lot of more Ruby's. The second thing you can do with RVM is manage your environment. So when you have Ruby installed and you want to switch between different versions of Ruby, you need to change your environment. So that's the thing that's easily done with RVM, and you can manage your environment. Next. So how did I do end up in RVM? So 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I've started working with Ruby, and it was really hard to install Ruby, and I found RVM. I was really happy, and from the first beginning, I was installing Ruby on servers via RVM. I've noticed there are some things missing, so I started helping with RVM. And in less than 1 year, I decided to drop my job because I was so unhappy and I wanted to help people, so I quit my job and started hacking on RVM full-time. And shortly after that, engineer decided to sponsor my work for RVM. So I was working on RVM for 4 years non-stop, and I decided to quit RVM now. So not really quit. So I stopped developing on RVM version 1 because I was too good at it and I didn't give chance anybody to step in. So I was fixing all the problems. Nobody had chance to help me. And right now I decided to stop doing it. And for the last 2 months, I'm asking people to help. And if somebody decides to help with RVM and wants actually do something, I just add you to the team and you can go from there. I'm usually hanging out on the Slack channel for RVM, so if you decide to help and have some issues with resolving problems or have some questions how to do that, you can always ask me, and I'm there to help. So I won't fix problems myself, but if you need help fixing the problem, I will help you. So I'm open to help the new way. So why it's hard to hack on RVM? Because it's 27,000 lines of bash code. That's something I want to change by doing new RVM, but it's quite complicated if you take into account how many problems we solve. We have 72 open issues, and there is only few that are easy. I encourage you to check them. Maybe these aren't issues at all. Maybe we can just read documentation better and answer with simple things from documentation. We have 30 projects. It's not just one project. There is 30 projects on GitHub that's built to the RVM thing. There is even one Java project, if somebody is interested. Currently we have 20 contributors, and if you want to help, you can be easily added to the team. We have 250,000 monthly page views. So this is a lot. If you start doing something with RVM, those people will probably see your name somewhere. We have 66,000 monthly page views for the installation page. So that's how many people are installing RVM monthly. Actually, it's just 60,000, because if you take out councils and really short visits, that's still a lot. That's built to up to 200,000 installations per month. So you can get there and you can start helping those people. And how to start helping? The biggest problem I see now in RVM is documentation, because we have a lot of code, a lot of people that help, and this gate goes really fast out of sync. So the best thing to start, if you don't have idea how to write bash code, you can actually help a lot by reading documentation, by going to the RVM site and just checking if it's actually true what's written down there, if you can run this code, if it actually makes sense, because some of the things are so old that they are no more valid. But proofreading it's quite a lot of documentation, and proofreading it would be a lot, so that could be something that anyone can do. Just go through the documentation and check if it works. The next thing is follow RVM.io on Twitter. Whenever there is something simple to fix, something that can be fixed in 2 lines of code, maybe, I tend to write descriptions, what to do, and you can fix such problems easily, and that could be a new way into the project. As mentioned, 72 issues on the main project, but there is more open issues. If you go to every sub-project, you can try help there. There is a bit of Ruby code, so you can start writing with Ruby. You don't have to go into shell. You can be still doing Ruby, because there's a lot of things you can do with Ruby, and you can help for anything else, or maybe the Java project. It's really short, but maybe you could help there too. So the best thing, if you want to help, you have to just come to me and ask me, or mail me. So today we were working from the hotel, and Alex asked me if he can help with RVM.io design. So yeah, of course, you're the chief designer now for RVM. So if you want to help, the first step is to go out and to ask, and you get use access. Next thing is RVM2. I'm thinking of RVM2 for 3 years now. I started coding a few times. The first release was the first proof of concept was in ZSH, so it wasn't that much improvement from Bash, and I dropped this idea quite fast. As soon as I realized I can do it with Ruby, I switched to thinking of doing it in Ruby, and I was building this big idea to do everything, to replace Chef, Capistrano, and so on and so on. But frankly, it was too much, so I was slowly limiting the scope, and thanks to new tools and to new stuff that's going on, the time helps me to understand how to make it better. But before it happens, I'm still working on RVM1 too, so it's going slow. But it's the thing that I need help too with, so I already limited the scope so much that it's something I want to have early version soon. Maybe we can do it today, because the scope is so small. We could do it today. If somebody is willing to brainstorm with me on RVM2 and to go through it, we could actually implement it today. And it will be all version manager, not just Ruby version manager, because Ruby version manager is limited. This pattern of installing software, it repeats. Everybody does the same. Verb brew, PHP brew. So they're repeating the same pattern. Even somebody copied RVM in early stages and just changed all the Ruby occurrences to their software. So we are repeating always the same, and when we get it done good, like I'm planning to have it with RVM2, we can install everything. We don't have to be just Ruby version manager. We can install Ruby, and you usually have JavaScript. Some people need Python for some scripts on server. So whatever you need, you can install everything with this one tool that I'm thinking of. So when you database, you just put everything in your configuration and say, computer, install me this, all stuff I need for my project. You don't have to think how to install Node.js, how to get JavaScript, how to get Python. You just tell RVM2 to install it. So, as I mentioned, we need to work on documentation because that's the biggest pain point. And before RVM2 gets actually implemented and working, people are still using RVM1, and I'm not sure if somebody will be willing to use it after RVM2 gets released. But this documentation needs work, and to probably better understand RVM2, what we want to do there, the documentation should be also better. So that's the starting point, documentation. There are some simple issues. Not all of them are simple. There are two kinds of issues in RVM. There are simple issues that you can fix easily, and there are issues that I don't even know how to fix them. The next thing is website design. It can be done better. I have already 2-3 people thinking on how to improve RVM design, and nobody can just agree what to do. That's why I'm really happy with Alex, and he will be able to say, okay, we want to go this direction, so we can slowly iterate to something better and not just stay nowhere. Because as you see my slide, it's white background, black letters. That's all what I can do with design. So I need somebody else to help me with that.
I approve.
And yeah, actually, RVM2 research. If somebody wants to help me with RVM2 and help me to do that prototype, because there is a lot of gems I already wrote for RVM2, but there is no final glue that connects it together to put RVM2 working. So we can start doing it today. There are some things I want to do research, like when you use store, how to dynamically define options, not just on the method right now, but how to plug it in. Yeah. Thank you. I hope you want to help.